Welcome to Coach Fick's Football Academy. I'm Coach Fick. In this video, we're going to do part 2 of how to properly rebuild a varsity program. In this video, this is part 2 of how to properly rebuild a varsity program. We talked last time about the commitment that everybody needs to have to be involved. So what's the next steps from what we spoke about in our part 1 video? And if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to check it out so you can see some of the ways and some of the things that you can do right now to start implementing and rebuilding that program. As we move forward, what we should do is we should develop what we call a task force. This is a team of individuals that are willing to volunteer their time to come together and help plot out how to properly rebuild. Well, who should be on that task force? So what we should do is we should look at all levels, youth, middle school, and high school, and we should be including people from each one of those levels. We should include coaches, parents, students, administration, community, and school members as well that are willing to participate. Why do we want to do this? Because the value of getting input from everybody is going to be beneficial for you to properly rebuild. This also helps with the communication. The number one reason that businesses, teams, or anything struggle, in my opinion, from what I've seen, is the lack of communication. If we don't keep that open form of communication and involve everyone in that communication, there's going to be a gap. And when you want to rebuild, you don't want to have a gap. Because if you have a gap, then there's going to be maybe 2 years there where you're going to struggle and it's almost like you have to rebuild again. We want to avoid that. So you get people from every level and come on board with this task force where you hold monthly meetings to discuss how you're going to properly rebuild it. In addition to this task force in these meetings, what should these meetings consist of when you're talking about it? Well, you should be doing some planning. Again, the coaches should be involved in this because what you want to plan is like we talked about before in part 1. We want to talk about the terminology. We want to talk about what off-season programs can we offer the kids to get them better. We talked about having a youth football camp, but there's many more. Can we do clinics? Can we do coaching clinics to teach the youth what we're doing at the varsity level? Can we do player clinics where we do skill-specific training and drills? Can we do speed and agility camps where we're helping the kids with their footwork? How about a strength and conditioning program so we can get bigger, faster, and stronger? These are all things that should be involved together, and they should be implemented at all levels. Now, me personally, I don't think a child should start lifting until the age of 14 at the earliest. And that's pushing it, but age 14 would be the first time I would have a child lift a weight. But under that, you can still do strength and conditioning. What can you do? You can develop a program where they do all body weight work, push-ups, pull-ups, chin-ups, things like that to still strengthen them, but they're not damaging themselves or potentially hurting themselves lifting weights too early. But these programs all help build a varsity program. But you have to start by getting a task force together that is willing to work, because it's going to take time, which goes back to what we said at the beginning, goes back to what we said in part 1. It's a commitment. If you are not committed to it, it will not work. Straight up, it won't work. So you got to have that commitment. So we want to develop a task force that's going to help us come together as a group from all levels to hash things out, discuss things, move forward, and start planning. With this planning, again, we want to plan some community events as well because we want to integrate that in. We want to plan on what we can do in the school setting to bring the school on board and also be an exemplary student behavior and academically in the school setting. But this task force is going to be key to you seeing success and to properly rebuild your program. So after you watch part 1, part 2, what you should be doing is getting your team together. Get that task force together. get it ready to go, and then schedule your first meeting so you can start discussing and hashing things out that need to get done now, so that way your rebuild can start as soon as possible. As always, we thank you so much when you take time to watch our videos. We give this to you because we just want to help you. We just want to provide you with information and knowledge and ways to be successful on the field, in life, in the school, in the community, and as a team together. So if you like what we give you, as always, we just ask that you please subscribe to our channel, like our video below, make any comments, ask any questions. We're always here to answer your questions and help you in any way that you need. And remember, in everything you do, no slack, just hustle.